507-1148.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no-income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now. Taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Weekend retreat started today. Actually, same time the show goes live on Friday, weekend retreat starts. So Tom is over there holding court at the front of the room. A little hotel across the street from IKEA there. We've got 100 and, I'm looking at the pictures. 100 plus folks there. More than 100, less than 200. A whole bunch. A lot. And today I want to talk about a little event we put on last Wednesday. By the way, if you want to call in, 713-785-1817. You can also go to our Facebook page. Make a comment there. I will get to it during the show. So we had a little Wednesday night, and it was originally slated for the Wednesday after Harvey. Harvey blows in and screws everybody's schedule up. So we rescheduled it and hosted that event last Wednesday. And the event, the idea behind the event was to give back to people who've bought real estate education that never really panned out. If you guys remember about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, we put out a call and said, hey, if you've spent more than 20 grand in real estate education and it hasn't produced the results that you wanted it to produce, send an email to support at Right Path Real Estate. We're going to have a special event just for you. We're going to take just a handful of people, and over the span of an hour or two, we're going to fix your business. And we did that. It was a great event. We had about 8 people there, and we spent 3 hours with 8 people. 3 hours. And went around the hot seat like we do on our Thursday night Pathfinder groups and base camp groups. We sat around in a table for 3 hours. Each person had however much time they needed to get those 1 or 2 things fixed, and then we moved on to the next person. 3 hours of doing that. I will tell you what the comments were after the event. The vast majority of the comments, I think just about everyone said this. I learned more in 3 hours than I did in a year working with other real estate coaches and seminar companies. I learned more in 3 hours than I did in an entire 12 months working with somebody else. 3 hours was revolutionary for these folks. And I'd love to say that it's because we're spectacular educators. However, this is what I'll tell you what it is. It has to do with our experience. When you buy the number of houses that we buy, and when you work with the number of investors that we work with, we can identify problems like that. We can identify problems so quickly. Oh, this is your problem. Well, start telling me, what are you trying to do? What are your goals? Are you even sure you want to do that? Why are you making those? You know what's amazing to me, and this is of the real estate education community as a whole. What's amazing to me is how many people in real estate are operating under false assumptions. Here's one I hear quite frequently. Jason, I want to retire and I want to like travel and play with kids and have a family and all that other stuff. I'm like, great. But in order for me to do that, I need to buy rental properties. Okay. However, I don't have the seed capital. One of the things that's fascinating, let me back up 1 second from this example. One of the fascinating things is the language people use. I can tell what education seminar they've bought into based off the language they use. Until about a year ago, if someone started telling me, yeah, I bought 4 or 5 houses and then I couldn't buy any more because I ran out of money, and I would immediately say, oh, yeah, you're a member of this group. And they go, how'd you know? And I'd say, because I talk to you guys all the time and all your students have the same problem. Now I could tell, you don't even have to tell me what seminar you went to. We could talk about any topic related to real estate, and I could tell what real estate club you've signed up with just based off the vocabulary you use. We've worked with enough people now, I can tell just by the vocabulary. So in case this person says, well, I want to retire, so I got to get some rental properties. Great, but I need seed capital. Okay, so in order to do that, I need to do wholesale deals, and then I'm going to do flips. And my first question is, who told you need seed capital? And of course, I already know the answer. But I like to ask I ask a lot of questions because I want to get at their assumptions. Here's the problem. Here's actually the problem with websites, Google, the internet as a whole. There is no analysis out there. There is no two-way analysis. There's no real consulting. Oh, Jay, I hear this all the time. There's a great blog post we did on this called The People You Avoid When Networking. If you go to rightpathrealestate.com, click on the blog. I think it's 6 people to avoid when networking. One of my favorite blog posts because it created a whole bunch of drama. I love it. I love upsetting this industry. We are disruptors at our core. I love disrupting the industry. So 6 people to avoid when networking. And one of the people you want to avoid when networking is the self-taught guy. This is the guy that's like, I don't pay for real estate education. I read, blogs, and I listen to podcasts, and I know everything because I can read. And what they don't realize is it sounds so incredibly ignorant. It's
Hey, Jay?
like my kids.
Yeah.
So it took
about
me 2 minutes
dropping
to
out
get the
in
segment on.
elementary
So
school,
do you want me to
but they're
cut
50
2
years
minutes
old. I mean,
of
it's
spots to make your
ridiculous.
segments even, or just leave
Would
it as
you
it
go
is?
to a doctor?
Just leave it as it is.
Okay.
Say you had something real wrong. You went to a surgeon. A surgeon says, you look up on the wall and go, hey, Dr. Joe, I don't see any diplomas up here. Oh, yeah, I'm totally self-taught. There's some great websites out there, great videos on YouTube. We're doing an appendectomy on you in 2 weeks. I'm totally studying up for it. And I'll tell you what, man, great YouTube videos. Like, we're going to have the YouTube video running, like, right next to your stomach, your abdomen there. We're going to start working on you. And I went on to Amazon. My assistant, we got an Amazon Prime account here at the office. So we went ahead and ordered our surgery kit. And, actually, let me even make it even worse. They don't have an assistant. They have a virtual assistant. They pay $3 an hour out of the Philippines, right? Because that's how a lot of real estate investors tell you to do this business. So I got this I got this VA that's ordering my medical supplies, and then I put an ad on Craigslist for a surgical tech. So, it's just some random guy's going to come out and help me with your surgery. And I got this new iPad app, YouTube app, and I'm going to fire the app up here right next to your abdomen, and we're going to do an appendectomy on you. I'm totally self-taught. Everything's on the internet these days, guys. I mean, why go to medical school? Why go to medical school? Why go through your residency? Why work with, like, the top physicians and surgeons around the country? I mean, just forget all that. That's for a bunch of losers. I'm going to go to YouTube and learn how to do surgery. Now, doing surgery and buying a single-family house, let's not kid ourselves. They're not on the same level of difficulty and skill set. However, you do need to take the same level of study for each. If I'm going in and getting a surgery done, who am I going to work with? I'm going to find the surgeon that all he does all day long is that thing. I want to talk to the guy or gal that if I've got to have an ACL, I'm going to that guy or gal that all they do is ACLs all day. That's it. Because I've got a goal. Got to get my ACL fixed. Who am I going to go see? ACL guy. Probably in my group of friends, I could send out one text message, say, all right, guys, you or a buddy or one of your older kids probably has torn an ACL. Who do I go see? Oh, yeah, go see Dr. Bob down there at, Skurlock Towers, the medical center. Great guy. It's all he does all day. ACL, works on half the professional athletes in Houston. That's your guy. And that guy's not going to be self-taught. The guy's not going to be looking at YouTube videos trying to figure out real estate. But one of the worst guys to run into is the guy who's trying to figure it out. Like, I'll watch these videos and I'll get it figured out. And here's the problem with that. There's no assessment. When you sit down with a real consultant, a real educator, first question they ask is, hey, what are you trying to do here? You think when you go to medical school, somebody doesn't sit down with them at some point and say, hey, man, what are you trying to do? I really like working on knees. Great. Let's get you lined with the best ACL guys in the country. Let's see if you then, of course, let's make sure you qualify. That's actually the first step. Let's make sure you can make it through our program. Let's get you in touch with the best guys in the country to get you to that goal. So many people buy into a map that doesn't work. It just doesn't work. They may claim it does, but I work with so many students from so many different organizations, and the map doesn't work. If you're trying to invest in real estate and it's not working, it's one of two things. Either you're not working or the map isn't working. And what's really heartbreaking is when you're working and that map doesn't work. I'll tell you, I signed up for all those programs too. I'll be the first one to tell you I've spent a lot of money on real estate education. So I was in the same boat a lot of you guys are. We get back from the break, we're going to talk about Number one reason for failure in real estate. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Man, that guy sounds fantastic.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where
All
to
right,
look.
we got less
Look
than a
no
minute.
further than Noble Mortgage.
Okay.
Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100, or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
This is Business 1110. Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook.
All right, hot mics.
Facebook.com.
Hot mics. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate, 713-785-1817. Big important announcement came out today. It's the jobs report. Now, Realize it's a real estate show. I talk a little about economics, but I want to talk about this one in particular. We saw a reduction in the total number of jobs, first time during the Trump presidency. I think first time since 2007. So here's what I'll tell you. If you dig around that jobs report, you'll see that there was a lot of this stuff was related to the hurricane, multiple hurricanes, actually right around the same time here in September. So I suspect that had a substantial impact on the jobs report. However, there's some interesting data inside the jobs report. There are some sections in there that talk about the total number of part-time to full-time jobs. That's a big deal. There's been a number of job reports where, in part because of Obamacare, folks have been taken from full-time to part-time employees. So I don't want to get into all that stuff here this afternoon or this morning. However, what I do want to say is jobs are going up. Jobs are being created. Labor force participation rate's actually starting to go up, which is really interesting. So what I would do is look at just what's going on in my region, my area. So, of course, for us in Houston, we're looking at Houston. We're also looking at DFW because we're doing deals in DFW. So I'd look at what jobs are being created in those markets. And you guys are going to want to write this down, super important, unless you're driving in the car. For every 2 jobs created, 1 house is bought. For every 2 jobs that are created, 1 house is bought. I won't get into all the math behind it, but at the end of the day, that's a general rule of thumb, kind of like the 70% rule. For every 2 jobs created, 1 house is bought. So as you continue to see the economy improve, I was flying back from LA, had a fantastic trip to LA and back, just a quick little 24-hour turnaround. Got to present at a friend of mine's RIA there in town, and then had dinner with some great folks. It was a fantastic event. Zipped back here yesterday evening. Got in early evening, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. And that's a key critical discussion point in any market. How many jobs are being created? One of the fascinating things I heard from the crowd I was speaking to, there was about 60 people there, 45, 60 people, somewhere around there. And the fascinating thing for the California crowd was how many of them invest out of state. They invest out of state. And I had a couple of people ask me about being a landlord in California. Hey, if you want to be a landlord and build wealth with real estate, would you do that in California? And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And they said, why? What's your reasoning? I said, well, for one thing, the way most California real estate investors invest in long-term assets is a lot of those things don't cash flow. It just doesn't make sense from a purchase standpoint. You need real estate that cash flows. Wealth is created by 2 things: equity and cash flow. That's it. There's just two legs on this wealth stool. 2 things you got to get right: cash flow and equity. The rest of it kind of takes care of itself. Well, the problem is that if you're in California in a very expensive market, the house may rent for $1,800 a month, but it costs you $500,000 to buy it. Those numbers just don't work out. There's no cash flow there. You need cash flow and equity to create wealth. The other problem with states like California is their tenant laws. Those tenant laws are a nightmare. I'll never forget, last time I was out in California speaking at another event, we had a lunch, and there were 10 or 15 investors there. Everyone's just kind of, sharing stories, shooting the breeze, all that kind of stuff. And there was this woman that was sitting across the table from me. And I said, well, what do you do in real estate? She said, well, I represent, I'm a marketing person for an attorney in town that represents landlords in tenant disputes, like evictions. And I thought, man, and in Texas, I don't know how you'd make a living doing that. So I said, what do you mean? I mean, how long does it take to evict somebody? And she said, well, depends. If they fight it, they can be there for months and in some cases years. Wait a minute. So I stopped immediately. I said, wait a second. You can fight with a tenant for months, if not years? And she said yes. So she worked for an attorney, and his specialty was getting tenants out of houses and apartments. And she said some of these people could stay months, if not years. You quite literally have to pay these tenants to leave. It's incredible. They can hold the property hostage. And of course, I've heard about that in other states, but one of the things you've got to be aware of is how fast can I get these people out? You know, if you're a landlord, it's how fast can I get a non-paying tenant out? They got to get out so you can get somebody in there that makes it cash flowing. So those are the two big challenges for real estate investors in California. So in having those discussions with the group that I was with Wednesday night, that was a popular topic. Would you invest here? And I said, no, I wouldn't. And they said, well, if you were in California, where would you invest? I said, well, somebody said, well, what about Vegas? I think Las Vegas is fantastic. I think it's a great market. I said, I like a lot of stuff in Arizona too. Those are short hops, quick little plane flight. You know, Houston to LA is 3 hours. You know, fly out there, fly back. That's 6 hours of traveling, plus all the airport nonsense. And, you know, you probably got 10 hours of traveling right there. So I said, Dallas might make a lot more sense. As Dallas is a major hub, I bet the flights are cheaper. I said, and I told him another one I like, and everyone they scoffed at first, and then a couple of people who have been in this market know that's a pretty good market. I like Seattle. And Seattle's not a bad plane flight up from LA. I like the Seattle market. I think there are some suburbs of Seattle that would make great rental properties. I do not know the tenant laws in Washington State. I think that's the only thing you've got to be careful of. But there is reasonably priced housing, not in Seattle, but outside of Seattle. Tacoma and Everett. Those are two great little submarkets just outside of Seattle. You don't buy in Seattle proper. Just like in Houston. I mean, I don't buy houses that cash flow inside the MSA of Houston or the Houston metro area. I'm not buying stuff inside the loop. Heck, we rarely buy things inside the Beltway these days. Take a look at our flip properties. They're all outside the Beltway. So we really don't even operate in Houston proper. We're in a lot of the suburbs. So let's go back to the jobs report. As more jobs are created, more folks are taking on full-time employment. I saw wages are increasing. I think 0.5% month over month. As those things begin to continue to increase, you're going to sell more houses. And this is something I've been on for about 8 months now. And that is, if you are a landlord, buy everything below $250,000 that are good neighborhoods with good school districts. Those houses will not be $250,000 houses for long. Buy everything below $250,000. They're not making any more of them. Builders cannot afford to build those houses anymore. All right, we get back from the break. I'm going to talk about spreadsheet investing. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes or binders? The agency for that
you
is
bet,
Benchmark
Daniel.
Insurance
You are welcome.
The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. We're here for you.
Well, you are welcome,
Are
Jeff.
You a rehabber,
Thanks for
wholesaler,
kind words.
Buy and hold or flipper? Bundling your
Hey, if you guys had a good time at the weekend retreat and y'all are already on Facebook, could you do me a huge favor and go over to our Facebook page and give us a review? One of the biggest comments we receive, most frequent comments we receive, are from folks that say, hey, I really wish, you guys, I heard about you guys sooner. I really wish I had, found you guys a year ago or whatever. And the reviews really help us get the word out. So if you guys are on Facebook, you enjoy the show, enjoyed the weekend retreat, please put that in the reviews on our Right Path Real Estate Facebook page. That's a big deal for us. I appreciate it.
832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab.
Would you invest in New York City? You know, I've never been to New York City. I've got a friend of mine. He's on my Facebook page if y'all can find him. He invested in New York, and it's tough. It's tough. I just think there's easier places to invest. I think when people come to me and say, hey, Jason, what's an optimum market? Where should I invest? And I really don't have a recommendation on, I have recommendations where to invest, but what I have greater recommendations for are those places not to invest. I don't like California, and I don't like New York. You've got so much foreign money. You've got a lot of really crazy money that's just willing to park money into stuff. And they don't care if there's a return. You get a lot of Chinese buyers in California right now. Lots of hot money coming out of China. And you can't compete with that. And it distorts the natural market. So I'm just not a fan. New York has got a number of European investors. Tons of Eastern European investors, and they just pay stupid money for stuff. So I don't like markets like that, but I will tell you this. I mean, I'm sure there's great money to be made. That buddy of mine that does New York, he does really well, but it's, it also kind of goes back to, what are you guys trying to accomplish? If you're trying to buy some rental properties, trying to do a couple of flip houses, I mean, would you really want to set your business up in New York? I mean, and then the state taxes alone. Tony from Hall and Associates did an intro for our event, and he was sharing with us the state taxes in California. It's like, that's an extra 10%. So why work all that hard? You got to pay the state and the feds.
An amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates
okay, I will
on
answer a couple of these questions when we get back.
Process and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to
Mickey,
make
that's on a good day. Yeah, 3 hours round trip from Conroe to Sugarland.
To find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez. The Hernandez.
That's why I don't have any rentals in Conroe.
Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Got some questions here on Ye Olde Facebook. Hey, Jason, would you invest in New York City? And I'll tell you, New York and California, my list, I don't really have a list of these are great markets, go invest in these markets. Like these are the top 10 markets. Because for the most part, I think just about any city across the USA is a great market to invest in. There are only two markets I would stay away from. One is California, the whole state. And the other one is New York. And here's the problem. New York and California both suffer from the same issue. A lot of foreign investment, real hot money coming into those markets, and it completely distorts the market. I mean, when you look at California and New York, they're just big markets, and they're international markets. It's kind of like saying, hey, Jason, would you go invest in France? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. But would you invest in Paris? I mean, I can't imagine trying to make money in Paris. Would you invest in London? Would you invest in Madrid? It's these international cities, and California and New York have a lot of international destinations. I had a guy ask me as well. He said, would you invest in Miami? I said, well, I do the suburbs of Miami. I wouldn't do Miami proper. And then I went in and said, look, one of the things you got to realize, in Houston, we don't even invest in the Houston metro. We rarely do a property inside the Beltway. So if you look at Houston, the first ring, they built Houston like an onion. Houston's most inner core is 610. It's called the Loop. If you live inside the Loop, the inner loop is really interesting in Houston. you'll get people that believe they're hot stuff because they live inside the loop. And if you live inside the loop, 45 north and south really bisects the city of Houston. So to the west of 45 is fairly affluent. To the east is not very affluent. It's probably borderline, most of it's borderline poverty level. So you have these two extremes. You've got very expensive houses, and then you've got, and when I say expensive, let me give you the definition of what I think expensive is. If it's double the median home price, that's a higher end expensive market. Expenses, when I say expensive, that's more of an emotional response than one that you can articulate with some degree of that you can calculate, if you will. So if you're inside the loop, if you're an investor inside the loop, you're either flipping high-end houses or more than likely you're owner financing low-end stuff. That's really what's going on inside the loop. I am not a fan of either one of those as a business model. So you go outside the loop, the next ring is the Beltway. And there's some great markets outside the Beltway. I think there's some great markets up 290 and down 59. I think up 59 on the north side of town, there's some great markets there. But most of the stuff we buy is outside the Beltway, in between the Beltway and 99. And 99 is the new ring. They finished it probably 3 years ago, is the new ring, and that goes outside between the Beltway and 99. That's where we do most of our investing. 99 is where all the new development's going to take place. Right now, if you drive 99, let's say from I-10 up to 290, there's nothing out there. There's a school and a handful of neighborhoods, and it's easily 20, 25 miles from I-10 to 290, which is one quarter of a pie, if you will, of that 99. It's not very big. Maybe a third, maybe not a quarter, maybe 20%. So in any case, we don't even do our investing inside that market. So would I invest in New York? Would I invest in California? No, I don't like the laws in either one of those states. I don't like the taxes either. It was interesting. The event I was at, we had a CPA give a 101 of taxes and real estate in California. And for those of y'all in California, you take a 10% haircut just for living there. I mean, who wants to do that? You work really hard in real estate, and then the state gets 10% and the federal government gets their piece, depending on what bracket you're in. So, and I'll tell you, if this passes, if this SALT provision passes, which I think for those of us who have no state income taxes, I like the idea. If this SALT provision passes and you're not able to write off your local and state taxes on your federal return, those states who have got heavy tax burdens are going to continue to see homeowners leaving. I mean, they're just not going to live there anymore. It starts to get too expensive to live there. So I'm a big fan of what I like to call flyover country. There are great markets all over the place in this country. The only caveat I tell you is you really need to be in a statistical area, an MSA, of about 200,000 people. When it gets smaller than that, you start having some problems. Not to say you can't invest in those markets. Just know that if you start buying 10, 12, 20 houses a year, you'll be a market maker. I did a podcast, I think it was 2 weeks ago now. I don't know when it's going to go live. I was a member of a wholesaling podcast out of Florida. And I looked up, before we went on for the podcast, he said, hey, I'm trying to go from 80 deals a year to 100, 120 deals a year. And so we were talking about what that process looks like. And I pulled up his market, and his market's teeny tiny. I mean, his market was like 100,000, 115,000 people. And he wants to go from 80 to 100 deals a year. And I pulled up some other data, and there's about 2,500 houses a year that sell to non-owner occupants in his market. So, to go to 100, 150, you're going to be, 7, 8, 9% of the whole market. I just can't see that happening. It's you're taking on such a huge piece of the market. So in any case, I'm not a fan of New York City. So let's see here. Got some other questions. What is the best practice for direct mail postcards? Does size matter, color, text, and what contact info should we include other than our phone number? I think you need to include your website and email address. Email address probably not so important, but I've put it on my cards in the past. I don't think it really matters if they're color cards, if they're, big font, little font, what type of font, as long as they can read it. We had one guy in our group who just wrote, "I buy houses," and then put it on a postcard and sent that postcard out. That was his whole postcard. It says, "I buy houses," phone number, I think on the front of the card. That's it. These things don't have to be really tough. So let's see. I started my flipping business in Michigan and moved back down to New York City. Biggest mistake, it is rough out here. Yeah, New York is a tough market. I've got a friend of mine that does real estate in New York. It's just a hard market. It really is. If I were, let's back up. If I were in California, New York, if I lived in Miami, I'm trying to think what other markets outside of California, New York. Miami is a really aggressive market. I would, if I lived in Seattle, of course, if I lived in Seattle, I wouldn't be investing in Seattle. Just like if I lived in Miami, I wouldn't invest in Miami. I'd do it in the suburbs there. I'd go up to Fort Lauderdale. I mean, that's just a hop, skipping away from Miami. I'd really look at markets that are easy for me to get to. So I'll give you an example. When we went around the room Wednesday night and asked folks, "Hey, where are you guys doing deals at? Of the folks that are doing deals, where are you doing them at?" About 50 to 60% of the room were doing deals outside of California, which I found interesting but didn't surprise me. However, what I found really interesting is they would have multiple assets in multiple states. So, I got some stuff in Oklahoma, I got some stuff in Arizona, I got some stuff in New Mexico, I got some stuff. I mean, it was this random kind of smattering of stuff all over the place. And
2 minutes.
What I told the crowd is I said, "Hey, that's great and all, but y'all need to concentrate on one city. There's plenty of houses in Phoenix, Scottsdale to buy. There's plenty of houses in Tucson to buy to build you a good portfolio. There's plenty of houses in Albuquerque. There's plenty of houses in and around Seattle. There's no reason to be in 15 markets. I mean, just think about that. You have an LLC for every market you're in. I'd highly recommend you do that. So let's say you've got 10 houses in 10 states. So you got an LLC for each one of these things. They've got their own tax returns. They have all their own stuff. I would just much rather find one place, Tucson, Albuquerque, Oklahoma City. I'm hearing some great things about OKC. Certain parts of Seattle. For those of y'all that are on the East Coast, there's all kinds of great assets to buy in Florida. Florida's a great market. The Carolinas, you got Tennessee. So you got all these markets right around there that are just fantastic. So I would ultimately look at where's a market that I can put roots down in and then continue to buy and build, because you're going to have to build a team to help you build your real estate portfolio. And you don't have to build 10 different teams if you're in 10 different states. I'd rather just build one team in one state and one city. That makes it a lot easier. Concentrate all your efforts in a smaller area because you're going to get a higher return. Here's the problem. You're going to need a property management company for all those. You're going to probably set up, you may have one bank account, but if you're setting up multiple LLCs, you're going to have different bank accounts. I mean, it's such a mess. Just pick one area and focus in on that one market. And don't chase the deals. You know what I would do is I'd say, okay, well, I'd look at it this way. How fast can I get from my house to where I want to invest? So when we get back from the break, we're going to talk about investing via spreadsheets. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off.
Yeah, Michael, I think you'd have to set up an LLC for each state.
Or more importantly, what to do to maximize
because
your
each
investment while mitigating risk. This is
my
exactly
understanding is
why
the
we
tax
started
treatment for those
NextGen
properties is
Appraisals.
going to be different per
NextGen is
state.
a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate.
I would
We
set them up
understand
all.
that
Plus, you've
investors
got
aren't just
different
looking for a
exposures,
number of what
and
their property is worth,
I'd set them
but
up all in
comprehensive
different
analysis
LLCs.
of the market.
That's why I'm not a big
Give
fan when
NextGen
someone
a
says,
call at
"Oh, I'm going to have all these different
713-346-9911
LLCs and or I'm going to have all these assets in all
or
these
check
different
us out
markets." Doesn't make
online at
sense.
nextgenappraisals.com.
Are you a realtor
Now,
or seller
some of these
that is
guys are
concerned
multifamily
about the new
investors,
TRID rules and
which you're going to
closing
have a
on
separate
time?
LLC for anyway.
I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer at Legacy Mutual Mortgage, and we have mastered the 30-day close. We close on time, accurately, and with tons of communication. You'll have a
Brad, I will
dedicated
answer your
team
question
of
when
a
we get back from the
coordinator
break.
and a contract-to-close associate. Give me a call today at 713-579-3611, and let's talk
Right,
about
the
how we
LLC
can help
is
you on
state
your next
specific.
transaction.
However,
NMLS
what you'll find is
514497.
that these investors are all going to do them
returns
in
getting
their
in the way
own
of your
names.
retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate.
That
is
also
one of the
doesn't
best
mean that
investments
someone
you can
won't
make.
put
Find out
assets
how
from other
JB
states
Fund
in
Services
an
offers a
LLC,
9% preferred
which is
return
where
and up
things
to
start to get a
13%
little
waterfall. Call us
wonky.
today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Rehab loans, conventional loans, FHA, and no income documentation loans can seem scary unless you have the right mortgage company to guide you through the process. Since 2003, Noble Mortgage has been helping investors just like you. Whether rehabbing houses, buying your first home, rental, or commercial property, Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing. Call Noble Mortgage at 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com.
Time is money in a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes, binders, and the agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas. The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need and when you need it. It's there for you. Call Houston's leading real estate risk management experts. Benchmark Insurance Group of Texas, 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
Real estate investors, if you're not familiar with Quest IRA, let me tell you what you're missing. We've got free weekly educational classes, networking opportunities, and the ability to tap into trillions of dollars for your real estate investing deals. Come by our office or join us remotely as we simulcast all of our educational classes every Tuesday morning and evening. For more information, call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or visit our website at questira.com.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for
1
repair
minute.
is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know what you're going to get. The foundation repair industry as a whole doesn't carry a license, nor is it regulated. However, Foundation Check utilizes professional engineers to review all of our files to give you the best foundation analysis in today's market. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825 or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties, whether it's a flip, rehab, or a rental rehab. No more managing it yourself. No more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992.
This is Business 1110.
Call Jason at 713-785-1817 and look for us on Facebook Live at facebook.com/RightPathRealEstate.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Talking about investing by keyboard. Distance investing. In other words, investing in a market outside of your home market. Some long-distance investing. Out in California this last 24 hours, chatting with a lot of folks in L.A., and I said I wouldn't invest in the state. I would go out of state. Well, how would you pick an out-of-state market? Simple. I just figure out which one has the cheapest airfare. But there's so many great markets out there, it doesn't really matter. I mean, could you zip out, if let's say you're working, 980s, so you got every other Friday off, where could I jump on a plane Thursday night or Friday morning and work all weekend looking at houses and making offers? I I mean, where's that market that's close to me, that's inexpensive to get out? Where's that market that I can start working on Facebook and find investors in that market? That's one thing that's great about Facebook. It's not hard to find real estate investors, especially in other markets. Just type in whatever city you want to be in and real estate investors, and the big real estate Facebook groups will start popping up. And then jump in there and just start saying, hey guys, I'm out of LA, looking to hook up with a couple of folks, maybe do some deals. You know, what are the big real estate networking events in town? Fly out there, go to a couple of networking events. You know, who are the hard money lenders in town? When you go up there you could get a lot of stuff. If you're being coached right, maybe I should put it that way. If you're being coached right, you can do a lot of stuff real quick. So, for example, I'd get on Facebook, hey guys, who's investing in this market?
2 minutes.
You know, where are the hard money lenders? You could set up interviews all day, Friday and Saturday, go out and look at some properties and fly back on the plane Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. And do that once a month. Start picking up a house or two a quarter, or if you really get aggressive, a house or two a month, if you've got all the ability to get that financing, the back-end financing. And all of a sudden, after a year or two, you've got a really nice portfolio, and you know that city very well. In fact, I could even make the argument that somebody who invests out of state, who's very focused one weekend a month, will be a better investor than most investors in their own market, because you have to be so focused when you get here. So if you're flying into a market, checking things out, meeting with people, making offers, I mean, you're compounding a month's worth of work into a weekend. And you're just concentrated, hit the ground just hard. Get in there, you know, pound the pavement, make some offers, get to meet some business contacts, and boom, you're back on the plane. Everything else you're managing by email, and phone calls. So you can really build a robust portfolio. One of the things I've actually thought about doing this model just to prove to people that it can be done. You know, just hop on a plane. I could do Oklahoma City. I could do Atlanta. I like certain submarkets in Florida. It's not a far flight for us, even out of Houston. We started buying houses in Dallas about a month and a half ago, and that's what our guys do: jump on a plane or drive out there. So, all right, guys, we got an event coming up Tuesday night. It's a webinar. Go to rightpathrealestate.com. We're talking about how to buy Harvey houses. And then we've got a Thursday event, and we've got our weekend retreat, and it's almost sold out. So go to rightpathrealestate.com, sign up for the weekend retreat, and I will see you guys bright-eyed, bushy-tailed Monday morning at 9 a.m. Thanks for listening.
All right, Jay, have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Bye.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at rightpathrealestate.com. Don't throw away confidential documents that are wet or damaged from flooding from Hurricane Harvey. Wet documents containing private information lawfully must be destroyed prior to discarding.